Hello, welcome back. Another sales video, weekend, 2 days for Saturday after the mail came, Sunday, and then, well, up to now. So it's 14 for 532. Let's find out what they are. Back to the Future soundtrack, 15. Zapp and Roger CD, 11. Camp, 40. Got to get a book. This is one that I've had for well over a year. It's called The Congress. It is an ex-library. Just kept getting enough attention for me to bring it down and price it down by a little over and over. 37. Niccolo Conti, 15. Steely Dan Collection, 2-disc, 26. Gotta get a book. A Daily Meisel, 50, 50. That was going to be my highlighted item for the thumbnail, but I got something that beat that out. Free Enterprise DVD, 13. 2-disc Elvis DVD, 22. Punch Needle Embroidery, 13. Gaither Homecoming DVD set, 15. This is in the very back of box number 44. So back of the box means it's been there for a while, as when I get new items, they go in the front of each box. And when I start putting items in boxes, they start with box 1. And they get put in the front. So if I'm in box numbers that are in the 40s or 50s, and it's in the back of the box, it means it's been there for at least 6-8 months. I put away like 50 DVDs yesterday. I just didn't do the CD. Well, I put 2 boxes away. They were almost empty, and all I had to do is find the exact CD, put it in that box, click on the listing, and hit mass edit and make that all the proper SKU what it needs to be. These are the ones I did not put away. Most of them are bigger ones. But so if I put them in the front and I'm adding new stuff a couple times a week, to inventory to put it away, when it gets down to boxes, high 30s and 40s, and I think I have a box 51, maybe a 52. I don't think there's anything in 52. It's just sitting there empty. That means that I'm running out. I don't have room in the earlier number boxes. So I need to go to the higher number boxes where I can put things. So strange explanation, but it just goes to show that, it's stuff. I could fit 20 plus DVDs, 20 to 23 in one of those. So if there's 40 boxes prior, and I'm selling plenty a day, so it takes a while to get back to those numbers. It's good. It means I have a lot of stuff, and I'm filling those numbers up. And it also means that one time I had at least 44 boxes full. And I think the highest number, again, is I think it's 40, I think it goes 44, 46, 49, 51. Somewhere or another, I just took a box out and did something with it. But at least I know what box they're in. Anyhow, I'm going to close up on these because it's very, very interesting. So these are called Mazda Edison. I don't think that they're from the 1920s. The box is way, way too modern. Only thing I could find about them is that they were from the 1920s. The design, they're just not. But I did put in the listing because that's the only thing that did come up. Comes up with P1920 on the bottom. No idea if they're absolutely mint. I want to say I looked the company up and it fell in line. But I do have 1920s ? Anybody who's buying these knows exactly what they're looking for a reason, because these two, this set, sold for $210. So they're out there. I was watching other YouTubers at a time years ago, trying to figure out about smaller things that you see all over the place that you don't mind selling. So I got into other smaller things, like I mentioned before. And I didn't remember, because I just saw he posted a different video, and it just comes in the feed. I'm not subscribed to his channel. you feel free to go there. But the name of the channel is Resale Rabbit, and he made a video a handful of years ago, 3, 4, 5 years ago, that described smaller things like power supplies, remote controls, just smaller things that you can get that are easy to picture, store, all that stuff. And the smaller they are, the less it costs of shipping and shipping materials. And there are some high-end small things out there. That's, I would say, for the most part, I have always sold just smaller items. I mean, there are times when I'll have larger items, but I just prefer the smaller items, because you could fit a whole bunch in like the skinny 3-drawer plastic things, the Sterilite Rubbermaid. You can store a whole bunch of inventory in each of those drawers, and it constantly goes out. But I shifted to media because it just sells substantially faster. But there was a video that I watched that was describing, and I don't remember who made this one, but it was describing the value in a lot of, it was Auction Professor. And he was describing the value in a lot of these cards, Bigelow and Congress and Ready Slip, and a lot of the other ones that are out there, that the sets are 30, 50, 100, 200, and they don't have to be 100 years old. There's a lot of them that are, because it's a massive collector's market. And a lot of people will just buy these, and this what gets dubbed as a swap card. So I watched another short video not too long ago in regards to about the Jokers and how that started, and then how it became kind of the trading trend. And because the Jokers have changed everything up in the decks, it was interesting. But then that made me kind of dawn on the thought, like, oh, well, that makes sense. The Jokers are ornate. And when I was looking up cards, a lot of people that were just selling. And granted, I probably could have sold these cards off individually anywhere from $10 to $30 each. But the moment that happens, and let's say that there's 104 plus the instructional cards and Jokers and stuff, the moment that happens, that you sell one out of any deck, you now have an incomplete deck. So if you're selling individual cards for $5 because you could ship them for 80 cents, whatever, if you're selling them for $10 and throughout the years you only sell 5, $50 minus all the fees and all the shipping. Now you have a broken deck that you're going to have to, if you want it, if they're not selling the cards, now if you want to, you're going to have to just get a picture of what's left and say, hey, this card is missing, and ask, I don't know how much less, but obviously substantially less than something that would be complete. I could have done that because there are some of this specific style that do sell for $30, and it's primarily the Joker. But the selling rate on them was so low that the moment I sold one, it would ruin the value of everything else. So for reselling, you need to make that executive decision sometimes and say, hey, do I want to part this out because I can make $4 per each one, but after I sell 3, it's pretty much worthless from there? Or just list it and wait. Now, granted, these were, I think I had started the very, very first listing price was 54321, which would have been like $320, after it was on sale. But it just kept coming down enough, and a lot of that stuff just takes the right person. I have a Revlon James Bond, I want to say it's Die Another Day 007 Revlon makeup kit, which was a handout at the screening of the movie, however long ago it was, 15 years ago. And it was a free giveaway. It was a handout. So there's only like 5,000 of them that were ever, I don't know the exact amount, but there were very, very, very few amount of them handed out. So I've had it on there, and it generates enough interest. And it's years old now. It generates enough interest, but it's such a weird one-off item that you would want to be a Revlon collector and a 007 collector and a James Bond. And so it has a couple of little facets that one of the two I don't think that you're a James Bond collector because Revlon made some stuff. Now, I don't think that you're a Revlon collector because it was used in a James Bond movie or it was advertising James Bond or however the advertising works for them. So it's a very specific niche item that was listed high, like at one point it was like $300, and then it just keeps coming down because it gets enough views over the years to where every 3 months, usually, rarely 2 months, but every 3 months when I'm doing repricings or items that have been listed for 3 months, I'm doing repricings, it'll come down by a little. It still gets enough views, and so sometimes someone will come in, and I'll get the $100 for it or whatever it is. But that's why you price stuff down, because there's a sentiment that says, set it and forget it. Well, I think I can get 500, so I'm going to list it for 500, and someone the right. Yeah, when you keep bringing it down, there are some things that are like that, like these Papers of James Madison books. Since Terra Peak doesn't have any comps on them, well, that'd be for 3 years. Amazon doesn't have anything. I think A Books has something, but they're 1841. So that's 180 years old. How many of these are out there? Not many. So if someone comes around and says $3,000, yeah, take them. I paid $20 for them, but they are worth thousands. So that is something that I will just sit on, and they also get repriced at that time frame. And then while editing the video, sold this Pride and Prejudice copy book. I got the details here, but $60. This is maybe 2 weeks old. So 14 for $532, $200 deck of cards. That really saved it because it was going in like it was going to be a $300 2-day weekend, which again, 300 should be a daily. So I got a bunch of stuff. I got maybe 70 items, 60 items listed from the stuff I had just got. A couple other things that I got prior to the other day to the big store when I came back with all that stuff. But it's gonna be mainly in-house of doing some stuff, getting some stuff away. Got a bunch of books that can be pictured and listed. And I'm going to just go head down to Chardon, which is 15 minutes down the road, go to the Discovery, which is 50% off this week, and then to the Goodwill, head back, rinse, repeat. So if you like what you heard, like what you saw, thumb your thingy going upward, subscribe, share, all that's free. Only takes a second. Appreciate it. Thank you.